Trouble meets me, Billie. My lifestyle's totally changed. There isn't a normal day, you know, it's not like when you go to school you get up at 7 and get to school for 8:30 or whatever. It's like I did a regional radio tour in the north, and then I came down south and I had to do this thing when you speak to the DJs over the phone and they can record it at the same time. And I did about 15 of those, and each were like 20 to 25 minutes long. And every time you have to answer the same questions, so as you can imagine, it gets quite boring. Sometimes I'll go home and go, God, how did I manage to answer that question like 80 times? But the DJs are cool, you know, they're really funny, and occasionally they have these mad games that they want to play with you because they've always got their own little bit to add, or their own little kooky idea, or, you know, their own interpretation of the question. So it's like, you know, it's not exactly the same, but it's similar.
Honey to the beat, come on and bug me. You're the only one who can get me there. When you gonna hear my prayer, yeah. You're the only one who can get me there.
I actually wasn't a fan of posters because I was a real girly girl and I love my decoration, and I knew that if I put posters up and I'd have to put them up with sellotape or something, I'd rip all the paintwork, and I was really stupid and, you know, girly. But I did have one poster, and that was of 90210 Beverly Hills, a big poster of Luke Perry, because I had a real crush on him. And I used to think that his eyes followed me around. I was convinced he was staring at me. But, you know, then I found out he was like 30 and had a wife, and I got really depressed.
Come on. Remix. Come on.
My first appearance at the Top of the Pops, I was just like, I could not believe it, that I was actually here, but I was on stage, you know, and I was performing, and I had a #1. You know, also being able to use your fame as a kind of, you know, your status as a positive thing, being able to do charity work and fundraising events and things like that, that's always great. That's always a good thing to do. Off because, you know, I wanted to work really closely on my second album. I wanted to do a lot of the writing, and also just going home and seeing my family and friends, some things that I hadn't done for so long, and, you know, becoming a religious fan of Richard and Judy and all these game shows and soaps. That was great, and I miss them now, but I've managed to get my video timer working, so I see them when I get home.
So if you follow emotion, the love and devotion, you'll find it's something deep inside. Can feel but I can touch. I can never get too much. I hear you loud and clear. I've got nothing.